Hello and welcome to the Aaron Roussos podcast. It's fantastic to have you here today. Today's little topic is, once again, something I've come across, and I think it's important to explain, or at least, not tell you anything, just say to you, look, if you come across this, and you get confused or you're not sure, ask for proof. And what I'm talking about is there's a girl on the internet, and there's only one at the moment, and she's quite, she can get up to 50,000 likes or follows or whatever you want to call it, and she's an absolute crock of shit. She says that she does remote viewing. Now, for you who don't know, she's saying that she can remote view and look through Elon Musk's eyes in a meeting that he's having with people. Now, she's done this hundreds of times all over the internet and did different things. She's even remote viewed from the Atlas, what do you call it? Thing in the sky, like the comet. She's been on there, she's done nothing, but she's proven nothing. She's never given one bit of actual tangible, provable, testable, measurable proof that she was there. So she could be just actually maybe a mental health patient, which is most likely more likely. Now, in my life, for those of you, if you're just, tuning in for the first time, I'm a 34-year veteran. I'm not 34 years old. I'm 52 years old. But I've been studying numerology, physics, quantum physics, ancient history, Pythagorean numerology for 34 years. It all started with a meeting of Mark Gruner, who was the number science guy from Harvard, who I met in my small town where I was growing up as a teenager, and it sparked a lifelong interest in it. It's gone to a certain, level of consciousness and awareness and things that I've seen. I include everything, exclude nothing, so I scour the whole earth for everything possible. And one of the things that I'm very proud of that I've done over the last few years is I've started to give people, just general people that are, everyone's on their own journey looking for their own thing and bits and pieces. I get it, right? Also, I first came out 8 years ago and said, look, as a human being to another human being, I've done something. I've, was trying to do this, and I've actually ended up healing myself of an incurable disease. This is what I did. Now I've done it with other people. It works every time. This is the biggest discovery in our history, but our culture, our governments, our organizations, everything's geared up not to find a cure for anything. And I didn't know this until I found a cure for something, right? No one's ever found a cure for anything in the history of human life here on Earth so far. We've got lots of eradication, vaccines, treatments, all the rest of it, but there's not one person, except for me, in the whole wide world that's ever cured anything. So this girl's out there remote viewing, and she's saying, this and that. Now, the relevance of that is zeros. Like, what she's saying does not make any difference to your day. It might make you think, oh, well, there's, and to have that amount of followers for lies just goes to prove my thing that I've been saying for quite some time, and that is it's easier to fool you, meaning the general population of the planet. It's easier to fool you than to actually make you believe the truth. That is factual now to me. That is so factual, it's not funny. I'm just really upset that there's people out there online that are fragmenting your reality. I hate with a passion people that think they're fucking smarter than me, or have put one over on me, or are fucking fragmenting my reality to a point where I feel something's not right and I don't know why. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this girl is spreading lots of this shit, lots of this negative bile fucking crap, and it's affecting all of you. and you've already, your nervous system's already shot. You live in a doomsday clock. You always expect the worst in everything. You're already geared up negatively for shit. Like, you don't need any more shit compacted on top of that. You don't need any more lies. Now, the simple way, if I'll give you an example, okay? 8 years ago, I came out with a protocol that healed my own anxiety. And I got a little bit like a conspiracy theorist where I wanted to tell everyone and I couldn't believe it, and I went out there and da-da-da. Now, someone came to me, and I encourage everyone to ask for clarification, ask for truth. The greatest thing that I've done in my work is all the woo-woo that you've ever heard, I've put it into practical applications that you can measure and that you can see in real life terms. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do this with this person and ask her to give you something tangible that no one else knows, that then you can then test and see that it's true, that it actually came from that source. But at the moment, there's nothing. There's niente. So I'll give you a story. 6 years ago, I go in waves, and I got out there and I was like, yep. And someone called out bullshit, and someone was angry. I said to them, I'll prove it to you. Everything that I'm saying is like, this person was saying to me, Aaron, no one's ever cured anything. They didn't say that. They said no one's ever, we've had no cure for anxiety, chronic anxiety in the history, all this people, all this medication, everything. Why all of a sudden why, that's why no one believes you. He's like, no one's believing you. I've got anxiety and I find this, da, da, da. Now, I moved into that person's house. I lived with them for 15 days. I cooked all of their food. I took them through the program, and now they're free. They're back to a normal life. There's a processing period as well. You don't just have anxiety for 10 years, heal yourself, and then go back to normal. It's almost like you need to spend, months oscillating back to find out where you're going to sit now. You need to teach yourself how to be anxious again. You've reset your biology back to a default level, and you've got a thing. So I did it, and I showed it with them. If anyone questions me, sends me an email, asks me for any information, I'm quite happy to explain, show, until you are supremely, agree with me on the topic that we're talking about. And if I'm wrong, I'll put my hand up. I'm the first person to put my hand up and go, I'm wrong. I don't know everything. I hyper specialize and fixate on, firstly, my own healing, and then I ended up, because I had family and friends in the past that passed away from cancer, but I also had imminent live friends that were terminally ill, friends of friends, people I worked with, people, their family that I worked with. And so I was just doing a little bit of testing, or trials, which is not risky in any way. Even, look, and they said this too. They were like, oh, he's got terminal cancer. He's probably going to pass away in the next few weeks anyway. Like, it can't hurt. That was the language that was used around it. But at the end of the day, I knew deep down in my heart of hearts, I developed this, where I developed it from, and I've developed it against a natural human being. Everything is being geared up and designed all around this human being. We don't know how this human being works on Earth as far as the medical system goes at the moment, because it only deals with the physical. I'm dealing with the holistic. I'm using everything, excluding nothing. The medical governments, everyone else is using just the physical, and they can't use the other stuff. They don't know about it. They can't even pass subject. They go to school. Some people go to school for up to 8 years and then practice being a doctor and do not study 1 hour of nutrition. Nutrition is the fastest and most effective pathway to boosting someone's immune and to human overall health. And it's something you do every day, so it can influence and it can be consistent and it can get the results. Yet a doctor who is supposedly has a duty of care towards our health, that's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. We all know that we're more than a body. Anyway, I've done heaps of this on podcasts and bits and pieces. Let's go back to the remote viewing fucking lady that is just an absolute fucking piece of shit. I'm sorry, but if you go out of your way to fucking fool people on a consistent basis and then you get popular and you keep doing it because you get popular, you get invited on podcasts. She's going and doing all these podcasts all over the place and explaining all this stuff, and not one person that's been interviewing her. And this is where fucking old school journalism, going to school, knowing what you're fucking doing, has been thrown out the window, because everyone's a fucking journalist now, can have their own podcast. Even me, look at me. I haven't done any other interviews with other people yet. I'm getting there. And I want to move to video podcasts. That's my, goal over the next few months, is to start doing them all video, different setup, bits and pieces, and also to get some guests on and start getting some different points of view in there. But, this piece of shit is out there fucking absolutely... should be getting paid from all that activity on YouTube. And I don't think there's anyone else there that's actually out there specifically saying that they can, not in my circles anyway, not out there saying that they can fucking remote view. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to tell you the ins and outs of it, but I've been on a very, profound spiritual journey myself. And I've tested and I've taken things and I've done things that you would call miracles, okay? Whether it be communicating with spirit, with all these things, bits and pieces. I've even dabbled in some remote viewing things, but it was a completely different scenario. It's not a random thing. It's with someone that you have an amazing connection with, and telepathically. And look, as a numerologist in the year 3000, that's where we're going, telepathically. You won't be able to hide anything eventually. But right now we're in the year 2026, and there's some chick on the internet that is remote viewing. Now, never been tested. So nothing has ever been verified, tested, fact-checked, never proven anything to us whatsoever. Just basically talking shit. Now, that fucking pisses me off. Anyone that takes advantage of anyone, it's like there was another group on once that said that they were the Galactic Federation posting to all these people. And there was thousands of people, and then they asked for donations. And people were on a live YouTube feed donating, and there was thousands of dollars being donated to this Galactic Federation. Now, you don't know this, but if we ascended as far as, planetary, we grew up on this planet, okay, as earthlings, we're not so smart, we're getting there, we're getting better, but if the end game for us is to grow up and graduate this planet and to master being a human on the earth and do it all better, and bits and pieces, right, then that would be what we would call the end game, right? So then everything that we do from now to then, we know the bias. There's a bias here on the earth. I don't know if you know this, but we have yin and yang and free choice, and you have no idea, like, all the things that you're part of. But so to be able to remote view, it's like, I'll give you an example, okay? You're in a 3D linear physical world, and the soul and the mind part of you that you have no idea how it all works differently. Okay, and there's certain laws and there's some rules around it as well. And I'll give you an example. When people go and do past life stuff and past life regression stuff and go under and hypnotized or meditation or guided meditation or whatever, you will never be shown anything from the spirit side from your past life. It's actually recorded in your Merkaba, and it's in your DNA, and it's governed by your innate, which is something that your kinesiologist muscle tests against you. So you don't know how all this works, but it's there. Now, to go back, your innate, which governs your past lives, that's in your DNA, in that, you know how like DNA in the Human Genome Project, they only know what 3% of DNA does? All the rest of it's a blueprint for your divinity, motherfuckers. And so this law says he will not give you, some of these laws and some of these things have been going on for millions of years, some shorter periods, some going on for millions of years, but they're going to end soon. They're cycling out, and it all cycles with numbers and grows. We're in an expanding universe, remember? It's all sort of expanding and stuff. So you will never be given, or by the governor, which is your innate, you'll be never given any information from your past if it doesn't make any relevance to your spiritual growth in this lifetime. You are purposely given shorter lifetimes on earth to spiritually grow. That's the currency. The currency's love, right? And everything grows. If you had a universe where every single thing inherently grows towards more, that's the game you're playing, right? Get on board. Don't just sit here and be a dumb motherfucker and not do any personal development into working out why you're here and just live ignorantly blissfully and not be aware of all the things that are available to you. There's availability to be in control of your finances, your career, your, personal life, relationships. No one does good relationships. No one does good finances. No one does, everything that we conditioned to do, we do badly. Yet we just spent 14 years at school. Isn't that fucking absolutely fucking drop the mic sort of fucking shit? You do relationships bad, you do finances bad, you do career-wise bad, you do everything bad. There's no fucking, you know what I mean? There's no majority of good in any of those parts of your 7 parts of your life. Yet you just spent 14 years in fucking total repetition teaching you to be a fucking nunga. That whole school was fucking useless, wasn't it? So there's a system we belong to. There's things that work. There's filters that you can apply to things to know whether it's part of this world or whether it's a fucking shonk. Now, that YouTube page from the Galactic Federation that was, getting money from people, scamming lots of people, thousands of people and bits and pieces. When we graduate as a planet, and if that's where we're headed, then that means that when we graduate, we're grown up, and then we go to the stars, right? Then we meet our galactic family, and they're all related to us. Everyone out in the galaxy is related to us. It's not safe for them to land here because we are fucking primitive, fucking stupid, small-minded, fucking low consciousness, fucking aggressive, barbaric fucking people at the moment. They look at us and go, oh, it's not safe to land there. They are barbaric. They've been killing each other for the last 2,000 years. Think about it. Don't think about your life here and what you've seen on TV or on the movies. That's fucking made up. You've got a real mixture in your consciousness of fucking movies and real life fucking consciousness, which means you've got no sort of basis for real reality in there. Your consciousness can do some amazing things. And so I get back to YouTube. this group is on there. They've raised $3,000 within a few minutes of me being on there. And I start posting some comments on there about when you graduate, you become a being of light. You've stopped fighting a million years ago. No more fighting. No need to fight. If you were graduating from here, when we graduate, the first step is going to be not to kill each other, not to hurt each other, not to hurt fellow human beings. We don't know yet, but we're all connected in some way. And it's actually detrimental to our own personal lives, what we're doing. We don't know that, right? So I started posting these stuff. And obviously then some people were like, oh, wow, and started, So what did they do? What do bullies do? What do narcissists do when they can't control the narrative, when they don't get it their own way, when their lie isn't holding up anymore? That's right. They deleted all of my comments. So as I'm putting comments up to save and to help human beings that are being scammed, and you might say to me, look, it's their choice to be scammed if they want to go and get scammed and bits and pieces. The thing is that a lot of things, you don't want to be fucking a fool, right? Do you know what I mean? You don't want to do something and be fooled for so long, and then when you actually find out the truth, the reaction gets bigger because you're just like, what the fuck? So whether about this chick remote viewing, whether about these people fucking, thingo. Now, the only way that you would know that these are all lies is if you personally went internally and spent a consistent amount of time each week working on your own personal development. Okay? People like, historical figures that have been here before, Sumat Kamatra, Buddha, Jesus, all the rest of it, they weren't actually here, and specifically to be worshipped. They were here, they were in the headlines, and we know their names because they did something. They all walk the earth. They're not mythical in the ether sort of characters. They all walk the earth like we did. And what they did was they mastered it. They mastered being a human being. When you master it down here, you therefore, there's a system of reincarnation, but when you master it, you don't have to come back down here because you've walked, as all of us have. You can then stay in the etheric realms and you can help people, everyone on the earth, magnetically, to be a master. Now, energetically, to feel that, it's a whole other fucking podcast getting in there. But what I'm saying is, we're here. Why not work it all out and master it? Why not be a master of Earth? What happens when you become a master? What happens when you do a huge spiritual journey, whatever you call it, awakening like I do, and you get to higher levels of understanding? I'll tell you what happens. I'm in control of my health to a certain degree. You've probably heard in spiritual terms, guidance, support, and you are guided, you are supported, and you're protected. There's actually different classes that you can go and do with different Reiki instructors and bits and pieces of energy workers, and work out where this guidance, the support, and protection comes from. You have no idea the levels of protection that are available to you, so that you don't have any chance accidents. You can actually be moved out the way, or you can be protected if you start going inwards on this journey. So I can get cancer, but I know what causes it and I know how to get rid of it. I got chronic anxiety for 10 years. I found out what caused it. I made a plan, and in 14 days, I completely got rid of it. Not using a medicine, not using a pill, not using a therapy, not using something. I used a protocol that was a full spectrum healing, full body, holistic practices, never been done on the planet. That's why it works. All the shit that you've been doing, or that you expect to do, or that you think would be where the fucking the truth comes from, it's not. It's a fact. Okay? And that goes, back in history as well. You don't know what you don't know. You can see what you'd like to have, but you have no idea the processes that are going to get it there to you. Okay? So all these things are available to us, but I guess to be a master means that you don't have that life where you're getting up and you think life's against you every day. You don't have lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. You don't feel like life's getting you down. You don't feel stressed. It's about balance. Okay, all the masters, all the yogi, all the masters are balanced, right? People love going to people that are balanced. They don't like going to people that are aggressive. They don't like going to people that are too happy. They like going to people that are just balanced, got their shit together. So to be in control of your finances, your career, your life, your health, your energy levels, all the rest of it, is to be a master. That means you have an experience here far superior, far better, and a better expression of everything, meaning you'll feel so much better about it than everyone else. All right? You have an emotional guidance system. You go out every day and you do something and you go, yes, that feels great, or fuck, I don't like that. Follow that. That's a good start. If something feels good and amazing, and I'm not talking about drugs or synthetics or, a false sense of good. I'm talking about, levels of health and states of a human being that we have never felt before, collectively. I was the forerunner, right? I've gone out before us. I've had to use blind faith and do the program not knowing what was going to happen. I did it. It worked. I became the first human in history on the planet Earth to heal themselves of an incurable disease with a planned, repetitive protocol. Fact. So use your filters. Go out there and do not, including me, do not take anything that anyone says as fucking the truth or the gospel until they give you proof, including me. Someone says they can remote view, go beautiful. Remote view something, tell me something, a way we can measure it and test it to see if you are actually there and that was a thing that no one else would know. Otherwise, don't fucking listen to it. Don't waste my time. Don't fragment my reality. Don't fucking make me more confused than I fucking already am. Your attention goes, right, where your interests are. Your natural interest, right? Your energy is going to go there. But if you got to think, if things are relevant, if this chick's getting on their remote viewing, if you're getting fucking spending hours getting doom scrolled by her talking about being fucking remote viewed, but there's no proof, no measurement, no thing of whatsoever, that's what they call a waste of time. You can't get that back. That's just more confusing than not. Every act that we do, whether it be listening to that, driving a car, having a shower, going for a walk, every day we get up and we do so many acts. If the majority of those acts are successful, we've had a successful day and we feel a lot better than we would if we didn't. That's a fact. So you just need to think about every little thing broken down, but also what's getting your attention? What's getting your energy? Why, and that's the way marketing works, especially online. One of the founding or the original guys that were involved in human engagement on social media for Facebook spent 7 years in jail for fucking tapping into dopamine and, chemical loops and reactions in the human body. What the fuck? There's a reason why in the 14-day protocol you don't use social media. It's unnaturally messing with the chemicals in your body. So use filters and ask for proof in everything, including me. I want proof. Show me. You shouldn't be able to come out and just make some fucking outrageous claims and not back it up. No, that was the old world. That was, before 2026. Moving on, where there's going to be no more of that. There's going to be no more fence sitting. It's not going to be cool to sit on a fence anymore. You're going to sit on a side and you're going to fucking choose a side, and that's it. You can't just sit on the fence and fucking let people think that you're a fence sitter. So it doesn't matter whether it's remote viewing, it can't be done. And if it can be done, because actually I said I'm probably one of the highest spiritually evolved holistic practitioners on the earth. And once again, don't believe that. You can test it, measure it, whatever you want. I can give you answers to things that no one else can give you answers to on earth. Look, at the end of the day, be discerning with your energy and your time. You should be getting something out of everything to get a bit of growth. When we go out and we go to where can you go? A dinner party, and you have a beautiful conversation or a personal or emotional or a thing, and you go, yeah, that's really wholesome. That's really good, right? That's amazing. That's a positive, good thing. We've got chemicals in our body, and everything's a chemical reaction. A thermograph sets off your brain, sends in less than a second, it sends a signal to a muscle in your finger, which is all chemical, and it makes your finger move. So all these chemical processes going on everywhere. When you're out in love and you're warm and that feeling, and it's like, wow, good chemicals, right? When you're angry and the cortisol gets released, and they're not good energy, right? So in becoming a balanced human being, it's about being balanced. It's not about the high highs and the low lows. You have the high highs and the low lows, emotionally roller coasters, before you get to the balance bit. You've got to go through that to get to that bit. But please don't waste your time with all this shit. There's so much shit online. I'm so glad they banned children. I sent Prime Minister Albanese a letter telling him that the top 10 causes of anxiety, chronic anxiety disorders, was social media. And about a month before the ban started to come in. And while I know the governments are a crock of shit, and I've got fucking 135 letters to prove it, and correspondences and all the rest of it, while they're, pretty average, the world that you are part of is not all the things that I'm telling you that you can get, that you can be part of. No one's going to tell you right and wrong. You've got to work it out for yourself. But your culture says, oh, I don't feel right. I go to a doctor who I don't even know. He's got very limited history on me, and he's going to run a test on me to tell me what's wrong inside of me. We've outsourced our health, and now it's becoming a problem because, the more chaotic life is, the more confusing, the more your nervous system's in thing, the more your doomsday clock's going, the more lies, the more fragmented reality, and all the rest of it, the more you're reliant on the system that you're part of. When you get to the stage of being me and you do the personal development, since I healed myself, I've only been to the doctors maybe half a dozen times, max. Before, I used to go half a dozen times, minimum a month. I used to be relying on medications every day. Now, for the last 8 years, nothing. Other specialties, side things, other health problems caused by my chronic anxiety, no longer there. I feel more in control, I feel more balanced, I feel more healthy, I have better experiences, I feel more content, I'm not anxious. Anxiety is still a part of life, but it's not stuck on repeat on fucking 10. This is very hard to achieve when you live in a world where every day you get up and you open the door and you go outside and it's chaos. Everything is designed to put that nervous system into a state where it's now not in the highest possible state it can get to. That's how I got to be here talking to you right now, because one day I spent 14 days on a naturally homeostatic alignment protocol, and I basically healed myself of something that over 300 million people have, and it's messy. It's not a great disease. It's fucking terrible to live with it. That's why I'm out here, because I know what it's like. I didn't want to be here. To get up every day and to fight anxiety is just the fucking worst. I think it's worse than, I don't know, because it's a dysfunctional system within you. Like, it's worse than a lot of other things if you had cancers or other things and illnesses and painful stuff. And so we know everything's out there. Before I even had anxiety, I had another condition for 20 years that no doctor, no specialist, no amount of money, and no traveling around the world could fix or find what was wrong with me. But it was cleared in 20 minutes with a kinesiologist. That was 26 years ago as well. So there's so much that we need to complement, that we need to finish. We need to finish the template for human health. It's not done. It's there at the moment, for many reasons. Why it is what it is. But it's not finished, and basically the majority of the people are listening to the lies, and the minority of the people have got the truth. And it's just because our culture and our society is set up that way that we don't honour the truth in the way that we should. So the next time you get online and you see someone remote viewing, by all means, if you are that way inclined, it's your choice. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I've done and how amazing life gets when you don't become a victim of it. Thanks for listening again. This is the Aaron Roussos podcast. Have an awesome day, night, morning, or noon, wherever you are.